hopefully you'll have put just a few more details on yours. I'm using this tool, which is called charcoal, which doesn't make as fine a line and as controlled a line as your pencil, but if I used the pencil, then you wouldn't show up on this. The next thing I'm going to have you do is add some value. That's shading or contrast. This happens to be a white bear, and so the shadows on the white bear are kind of subtle. That's maybe about a 2 or a 3, and here is about a 2 or 3. If my light source were from this direction, and I'm going to ask you please not to put a little light bulb in yours, because it's not good art to do that. Because if we were doing like a practice, that would be an okay thing to do, but this is our good one. But if the light is coming from this direction, and then the shadows are going to be farther away from the light. And the shadows are going to be not black, but a darker value. When we shade, we can think of the head as being a sphere, and the arms as being a cylinder, the nose as being a cone, and we can shade those like we would a cone or a sphere or a cylinder. A little darker here, on the underside as well, over here. And shading seldom has dark outlines around it. Occasionally, but it's kind of rare. Darker here under that cone shape, darker on the far side of the ear. And then this also casts a shadow. And again, we don't outline that. The arm casts a shadow on the body. The bear casts a shadow on the table. And the cylinder has a shadow. Now these shadows look really fiercely black, and that's way too dark. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take either a tortillon or a blending stump or a chamois. This is a chamois, and I'm going to use my chamois, and I'm going to blend it just a little bit, smooth it out. Now, of course, I could do that with my finger, but if I blend with my finger, that's much more realistic for how dark that value would be. A little darker on the underside. Here's all the undersides. A little darker on the far side. And also where it would cast a shadow. And here also. Now, even though we're using some observation skills, we do kind of want to take some care that we don't have a value that's exactly the same as another value right next to it, because that won't have any contrast. So I see this and this are almost the same value, so I'm going to go ahead and darken that a little bit. That texture doesn't look very good for value, and that's why I do want to blend it just a little bit. When I blend it, it takes a little bit of it away. There we go, that's better. And that's just the start of making it look three-dimensional. I've started taking value, and by treating the form like geometric forms, spheres, cylinders, cones, I've given it a very three-dimensional effect.